Okay, this is a Mashiach shir, and we discuss subjects of Mashiach and things that are going to happen when Mashiach comes. But we're going to start with the subject in this week's Parsha, and as you'll see, one of the ways how to solve a question that many Mefarshim ask is by bringing in loss of love and Mashiach. But much of the shir is going to be just on an inyan of this week's Parsha. But we're going to get to Mashiach, don't get worried. Okay, let's get started in the Gemara and Brachas, the end of the first Perek. Daf Yud Gimel Amud Aleph. We're starting where it says Tani Bar Kapora. There are two dots there. Yes, Tani Bar Kapora. Bar Kapora taught Kolak Koire La Avraham Avram. Anybody that refers to Avraham Avinu with the name Avram, Oiver Be'ese, is Oiver on a mitzvah saseh. That's what it sounds like. Ese means he's Oiver on a saseh. Shneimar, since the pasuk says V'hoya Shimcha Avraham, and your name should be Avraham. So the pasuk is saying it's a mitzvah saseh that the name that Avraham Avinu is referred to is Avraham, not Avram. By the way, when the name Avram is said in Lashon Kodesh, it's pronounced Avraham. But many times when it's pronounced in English, it's Avram. Avram, whatever. It's sort of, the H gets lost. Understand? It shouldn't. That's right. So it's Avraham. Then the Gemara continues. Rabbi Eliezer says, "Over belav." He's over on a lav. Shneimar v'lo yikare oid es shimcha Avram. Your name should not anymore be Avram. So it says v'lo yikare. V'lo is a lav. So the Gemara asks on this. Elameyato akoyda l'Sara Sarai. Should the same thing be regarding the name of Sarah? Her name originally was Sarai and it was changed to Sarah. Hachanami, is it the same thing? That one that calls her by the name Sarai is over an Esa or an Alav? So the Gemara answers no. Hasam kushibirichu Omar la Avraham. There it's Hashem telling Avraham about how he should be calling his wife. Sarai ishtecha loitikari ashma Sarai ki Sarah shma. That Sarai, your wife, do not refer to her as Sarai, but rather refer to her as Sarah. But it doesn't ever say in the pasuk when you get to anybody that you shouldn't refer to her with the name Sarah. Another question: Elameyato akoyda Yaakov Hachanami. Yaakov Avinu, which also went through a name change from Yaakov to Yisrael, is the same thing. That if you call him Yaakov, you're either an Esa or an Alav. And for the Gemara, no. Shani Hasam the Hadra Hadrikra. The pasuk itself refers to Yaakov with the name Yaakov. In the Gemara. Because it says in the pasuk, "Vayomer Elokim liYisrael b'maras halayla Vayomer Yaakov." So it says Yaakov. So even after, it's okay. So even after he was called Yisrael, the pasuk does say Yaakov. Okay.
It also again doesn't say anywhere that you have to start calling Yisrael, like it says.
Well, it does say there. No, it does say pretty strong lashon. I don't have it in front of me now. Yishlach. What does it say?
I believe it says in the pasuk below Yikol.
Yeah, it does say pretty strong lashon over there. Vayishlach. Vayomer yishlacheni. Vayomer mashmecha. Vayomer lo Yaakov yeomer oid shimcha ki im Yisrael. The Malach is speaking. It's not like the Eibush is speaking. It's the Malach speaking, but it does say lo Yaakov yeomer oid shimcha ki im Yisrael. Right? Okay.
It won't say your name is not, you shouldn't be called.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. This thing that his name is not Yaakov, I think it does. Where is it? No, I don't remember now. But yeah, sounds right.
I think you know everything about that. Not only this.
So the Gemara concludes with one more question here. Masiv Rav Yosi bar Ovin v'iteimer Rav Yosi bar Zvida. There's a pasuk in Nehemiah which we say every morning in davening. Atuhu avay Elokim asher bacharta ba'Avram. So it says there that the Eibush chosen Avram, the Sam Toshmoi Avraham, right? But it says Avram. Why are we even mentioning that his name is Avram? You're not allowed to refer to him as Avram anymore. So the Gemara says the answer is simple. Hasam novi hu de komisade l'shvache de rachmana. The Gemara there, the pasuk there is praising the Eibishter for the fact that it chose him as Avram and it changed his name to Avram. It's relating the story. It's praising Hashem. Maida Hava Meikara, who he was before his name change and who he was after his name change. So that's the whole point of that pasuk, to actually tell us the praise of Hashem for doing this. Okay, till here's the Gemara.
I never understood that question. I mean,
The answer is so pashut. So where did you find it? Vayayim Eloi Elokim Shimcha, Vayayim Eloi Elokim Shimcha Yaakov, Lo Yikare Shimcha Oid Yaakov Ki Im Yisrael Yishemecha. So it's a very clear passage.
The Gemara's question is from this passage?
Yes.
Yeah. Not from the Malach.
No.
From the Malach.
Yeah.
Good question.
Okay, so now the question that the Maharsha over here in this Gemara and many Mefarshim bring up is that you learn this Gemara, it sounds like a pretty straightforward halacha that Avram Avinu's name has been changed to Avram and he should not be called Avram ever, only Avraham. And the Gemara uses very strong expressions here. Ya'ivra ana esa, or the Gemara says, wait. So it's over an esa, or Rabbi Eliezer says over belav, right? So the question is, two questions. Number one, why do none of the minor mitzvahs counted as a mitzvah? Yes, why isn't it counted as one of the mitzvahs says, or as a lav? And number two, why isn't this brought in the Rambam as a halacha, in the Torah, Shulchan Aruch? Why do they not quote this as a real, actual halacha that you're not allowed to refer to Avraham, Avraham with the name Avram? That is the problem that everybody deals with over here. Huh? It's from before Matan Torah. Could it be counted from before Matan Torah? Okay, so what? So that is one of the answers that's given. One of the answers that's given, who says this answer? Let me see. The Maratz Chayes. The Maratz Chayes says, if you look in the back of all the Gemaras, you have a Pirush from the Maratz Chayes. He wrote a few different Sfarim. Lived about 150 to 200 years ago. So he says, we have a rule, the things that says in Chumash from before Matan Torah cannot be used as a mitzvah for after Matan Torah.
Unless it's being repeated.
Less Nishna B'Sinai, unless it was repeated after Sinai, like Bris Milah. The only exception is Gid Anosha. Gid Anosha is said before Matan Torah in Parshas Vayishlach, and it was not repeated again, and it's still Asur. Okay, but and Pruruvu also not. You're right. Okay. Right, if it was not Nishne, so then it's not Asur for Goyim, says I. Okay, so this is the Teretz that the Maratz Chai says. This is from before Matan Torah. And the whole psukim that say that his name shouldn't be referred to as Avram, only Avram, it's written as a bracha, as a haftacha, but it's not written as, but there's no Isser whatsoever.
Maybe you can say it was said to his generation.
Only to his generation.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's two basic questions in this. Question number one is, but the Gemara here has a problem. The Gemara asks a question from the Gemara in Nehemiah. Why is there a question from the pasuk in Nehemiah? Why did the Gemara B'chlal ask this? If it's true that this is only that something that was before Matan Torah, but after Matan Torah we can't learn from this, so why is the Gemara asking about a pasuk in Nehemiah, which is after Matan Torah? So clearly the Gemara holds that this is an Isser even after Matan Torah. Clear? Then, B'chlal, this whole thing about not learning from before Matan Torah is not so pashut. Not so pashut. This Dei Chemed says that you don't learn from before Matan Torah. There's many, many exceptions to that. There are many things that we do learn from before Matan Torah. And he says that something that's written in the Chumash as a clear mitzvah, or as a clear loisasa, or a clear isser, you could learn from before Matan Torah. If you want to learn from a story that happened before Matan Torah, where within a story the Eibusher says to do something in a certain way, that's something you don't learn from before Matan Torah, because it wasn't something that was commanded to all of Klal Yisrael. It was just in a story. But over here, no. Over here, though, but it says, V'lo yikarei oides shimcha Avram. It seems to be saying, right, but it's saying V'lo yikarei. It seems to be saying a command. V'lo yikarei oides shimcha Avram. So it's not so pashut that you can't learn from before Matan Torah. Either way, he says that this, whether you could learn from before Matan Torah, you can't learn before Matan Torah, is questionable. But the fact that the Gemara asks from the pasuk in Nehemiah is clear that the Gemara holds that this is a real Isser.
Not only that, it seems like everybody's ignoring this Gemara.
Yeah.
That's the question.
That is the question. Yep. There's another pshat that the Pri Chodesh says in Avraham. I think it's in Simon Samach Vav. It is, and the halachas were. So the Pri Chodesh says that this whole Gemara here is only an asmachta. All these psukim it brings is an asmachta. It's not an ism in atayra. It's ism in rabbanon. It's not really an ism in atayra, but it's a very pella that the Pri Chodesh says this because. Number one, it doesn't answer the question of why. Wait, one second. That's also a good question. Right, the Gemara's lashon is esa, over belav, over be'esa. It's very strong words. The Gemara seems to be saying this doesn't sound like an asmachta. Okay, but you could be deichik the lashon of the Gemara. The Gemara doesn't seem mi mamish esa. But again, if the point is that this is just a takonim d'Rabbanon, and they're basing it on the pasuk, so then why are we asking from a pasuk in Nehemiah? At that point, this takonim d'Rabbanon maybe wasn't yet instituted. So what's the question from the pasuk in Nehemiah? Besides that, it doesn't answer the question why it's not brought in the Rambam, why it's not brought in Shulchan Aruch. It answers the question why the ones that count mitzvahs don't count it as a mitzvah. But it doesn't answer why it's not brought in the Rambam and the Shulchan Aruch. So another answer that Mefarshim give is that this Isser, the Gemara talks about over here, so Rabbi Riva said before, maybe it was only for that generation. So the answer that Mefarshim give is very similar. They say that this whole Isser was only during Avram Avinu's lifetime. While he's alive, so you shouldn't referring to him in person, you should refer to him with his name Avraham and not his name as Avram. But after he passes away, the Isser doesn't apply.
Is this for Goyim or is this
for... For the people then, yeah, whoever, yeah. Whatever, Avram Avinu was Sanefesh Hashasu B'charam. Exactly, Avram Avinu was a big Rebbe. He went a Greise Rebbe, yeah. Greise Tish, exactly. He had his tent.
Tens of thousands of sinners.
Yeah, exactly.
His tongue, it didn't hurt,
So, that's one basic teretz, that it's only in the lifetime of Avram Avinu, but not later. But the Iyun Yaakov, if you look at the Ein Yaakov, so there's a Mefarish on the side, the Iyun Yaakov, right away he brings up this teretz and he negates this teretz. He says again, for the very same reason that we said before, this teretz doesn't work because the pasuk, the Gemara asks from the pasuk in Nehemiah. This last question here from the pasuk in Nehemiah rules out all answers. Basically, the fact that the Gemara is asking from a pasuk in Nehemiah shows that this is serious and it wants to know why the pasuk did this. So it can't only be for the lifetime of Avram Avinu. That is the question that the Iyun Yaakov asks on this. Okay, so and one of the answers that's given for this is one of the Mefarshim says, if you look in the Gemara here, okay, so this is a way to wiggle out of this question before we get to the Mashiach aspect of this whole thing. And if you look in the Gemara, there are two opinions here. That's what it seems like, at least. Look back into the Gemara. What does it say? There's Bar Kapara and there's Rabbi Eliezer. Right? Bar Kapara says you're over on a Esa, and Rabbi Eliezer brings a different pasuk and says that you're over on a Lav. So the Rishonim here, the Taisus Rosh, the Taisus Riazokin, all the Rishonim here, and the Marsha, they all say there's no argument here. Rabbi Eliezer and the Bar Kapara are not arguing. Mara Machada, V'loi Pligi. Yoiver on the Esa, Yoiver on the Lav. It's two different psukim. They're both true. He quoted the Esa and he quoted the Lav, but they're not arguing. Yoiver on both. However, some Mefarshim say that it is possible to say that it is a machlokes. He held, that Bar Kapara held Yoiver on the Esa, and Rabbi Eliezer held Yoiver on the Lav. And what would be the difference between the Esa? Only an Esa or only a Lav. There's a machlokes here. So that's what it sounds like. Rabbi Eliezer Omer. Right? Usually when it says the Omer after the name in Gemara, the rule is if it says the Omer after the name, it means it's an argument. Right, if it doesn't say Omer Rabbi Eliezer, it says Tani Bar Kapara, yeah, and then it says Rabbi Eliezer Omer. That's usually the rule. It says like it's an argument. So what's the significance of the fact that there's an argument? If it's an argument, so then you could say they're not only arguing about whether it's an asay or a lav, but there's another detail here to this argument. When you look at the Esa, V'haya Shimcha Avraham, that Lashon V'haya Shimcha Avraham, Taka sounds like it's only talking about the generation of Avram. It's not talking to the later generation. It's telling Avraham Avinu, your name, people are going to refer to you with the name Avram, and they're not going to refer to you anymore with the name Avram. So it sounds like we're talking about Avraham Avinu in his lifetime. But when you look at the other pasuk, v'lo yikare oides shimcha Avram elo, v'lo yikare oides shimcha Avram, it sounds like this oid forever. V'lo yikare, it will not ever be called anymore Avram. It doesn't sound like it's speaking to Avraham Avinu in his lifetime. So it sounds like it's speaking about forever. So that may be another argument that there is here. They're arguing about whether it's an essa or a lav. But they're also arguing whether this is a command, a mitzvah for that time when he's alive or later. If so, we can make sense out of the whole story here. Maybe we paskin like Bar Kapara. We paskin like Bar Kapara that this is only an essa for Avram Avinu's lifetime. And therefore today in Shulchan Aruch it's not brought. It's not an essa, you can refer to Avram Avinu as Avram. The Gemara does ask from the Chemya, which is later. That pasuk is the other opinion. The Gemara is asking on Rabbi Eliezer. Rabbi Eliezer that brought the pasuk v'lo yikarei the Shimcha Avram. It's a nice teretz. I don't remember. But the point is, it's a nice teretz. It's a nice chap. But the thing is that the Marsha, all the Rishonim clearly hold that there's b'chlal no machlekes here. Rabbi Eliezer, Bar Kapara, Mar Amachada v'lei pligi. There's no machlekes. And number two, I mean, it's what would be the reason to say that we paskin like Bar Kapara over Rabbi Eliezer? Why? I mean, is there any kind of a rule that we should paskin dafka like Bar Kapara and not like Rabbi Eliezer? Why would that be the case here? Because Rabbi Eliezer Shemuti, that's why. Okay, maybe. Okay, so here comes. Over here, this Rabbi Eliezer Omer. You sure? I don't know. Not sure about that. Not sure about that. No, Bar Kapara is I think a Tana. I think he's a Tana. Okay, so now comes in the Mashiach story. And that is that the Ben Ish Chai, in his Sefer Ben Yoda, he wrote a Sefer Ben Yoda on all of the Agadata of Shas. Yeah, so the Ben Ish Chai says that we can solve this problem with why the Gemara asks the pasuk from the Chemya by saying that maybe this whole thing is only during the lifetime of Avraham Avinu. But what's going to happen after Tchiyas HaMeisim? After Tchiyas HaMeisim, the Isser will come back. Because you'll be referring to Avraham Avinu and Tchiyas HaMeisim, you'll be referring to Avraham Avinu directly. So Enochanami, the Isser today doesn't apply anymore. But, and that's why it's not brought in Shulchan Aruch, it's not mentioned, no one counted as a mitzvah. But after Tchiyas HaMeisim, the Isser will be applicable again.
We still know this
Huh?
One second, so the Rambam should have brought it.
Well, we'll get into that. Very good. 1 second. But first, regarding the Gemara, so the question from the Chemya was, after Avraham Avinu, after Tchiyas HaMeisim, and this pasuk in the Chemya is going to be learned even Lasad Lavai after Tchiyas HaMeisim. So after Tchiyas HaMeisim, how could you read this pasuk while Avraham Avinu is alive? That's another good question. That then it says that the Nevi'im and Ksuvim are going to be batal Lasad Lavai. Okay, so let's go one thing at a time. So first of all, the question Rabbi Riva said is, which the Ben Ish Chai, the Ben Yoda, he brings it up himself. If this is going to be a Isser, La'asad Lavai, why would the Rambam not mention it? The Rambam is known for the fact that he brings all halachas, including what's going to be Negea La'asad Lavai, not only things that are Negea today. So why does the Rambam not bring it? It still doesn't answer that. It answers why the Shulchan Aruch doesn't bring it, but it doesn't answer why the Rambam doesn't bring it. Okay, so we're still stuck with the Rambam. Then, as you said, that the Nevi'im and Ksuvim Lasad Lavai, the Gemara says is going to be batal. So there's no Nevi'im and Ksuvim Lasad Lavai. So who says there's any Nevi'im and Ksuvim Lasad Lavai that we have to have an issue with the fact that it says it in Nehemiah? Okay, so the Ben Yoda himself says that Tchiyas HaMeisim will be at a much later point after Yemais HaMashiach. Mashiach arrives, it says in many places that Tchiyas HaMeisim will not happen immediately. It'll be many years later. There's different numbers of years that it says, but it'll be a later Tkufa. So he says the Rambam, wait, let me, one thing at a time, getting there. So the first what the Ben Yoda says. So the Ben Yoda says that the Rambam doesn't talk about such a later point after Tchiyas HaMeisim. The Rambam does include halachas that applies to Yemais HaMashiach. That's where the Rambam brought all the halachas of the Beis HaMikdash and so on, but not things that apply after Tchiyas HaMeisim. So he doesn't bring this Isser of referring to Avram with the name Avram because that's on a much later tkufa. That's the Teres of the Bnei. That's what he says. But the question is, like you said, it says befedish that when Tchiyas HaMesim will happen, when Mashiach will come, that is, when Mashiach will come immediately in the beginning, Moshe and Aaron will get up for Tchiyas HaMesim immediately, and all the other Avos and the big tzaddikim will also get up immediately for Tchiyas HaMesim. They won't have to wait until the later tkufa of Tchiyas HaMesim. So we're stuck with the question of L'chayre,
My son is coming right back.
Yes, amen. Take it from Yad Mamish.
That just means before Tchias HaMesim, doesn't mean at the beginning of Tchias Mashiach. Maybe that Kufa is later.
Is what?
Maybe that Kufa is later.
No, I think my Sharim Imanim is right away because the Gemara talks about how we're going to know which Karbanis to be makriv and so on. So it says Moshe Aaron Imam, they're going to answer, which means that right away we're going to have to know the mitzvahs right away. So that Moshe Aaron Imam. Okay, so. Right, so Tchias HaMesim will not necessarily be right away. Okay, so here's the thing. So 2 points. First of all, so let's talk about Tchias HaMesim. The Rambam B'chlal doesn't bring up the whole inyan of Tchias HaMesim in Sefer Hayad. Doesn't bring it up. Even though it's one of the 13 principles of faith, and Tchias HaMesim is one of the big beliefs of Yiddishkeit, the Rambam doesn't bring it up B'chlal. In Sefer Hayad, in Hilchas Mashiach, and Perikid Aleph and Perikid Beis. Why not? Because it's not something, the fact that the Eibishter is going to make Tchias HaMesim is not something that's negei la halacha. That's something the Eibishter will do. And any ramifications of halacha that come out of it, the Rambam doesn't discuss. The Rambam doesn't discuss anything in his Sefer that's not mukhrach al pi halacha.
So doesn't believe in it, he's not a kafir?
If you don't believe in Tchias HaMesim,
When he brings the 13 principles, he does.
Hilchas Tshuva, maybe the Rambam, well, no, and not in Sefer Hayad. No, it's Pirush HaMishnayos. The Rambam is not in Sefer Hayad. Okay, so the Rambam, even if it's true,
The Rambam ignores the entire code of what doesn't write it in the Yad HaChazakah.
well, most of them probably are incorporated in the Yad HaChazakah, but Tchias HaMesim not. Yeah, the Rambam only. The Rebbe points out, and we once learned about this, about the fact that there'll be miracles lasted lavai. So the Rambam doesn't mention anything about miracles lasted lavai. Adarabah, the Rambam says there will be no miracles lasted lavai. So the Rebbe says in Sof in the Sikha, the Rebbe says that the emissaries, even the Rambam agrees that at a certain point there will be miracles lasted lavai. Even if not in the beginning, but at a certain point there will be, or could even be at an earlier point. Doesn't matter. The Rambam only brings things that are mukhrach al pi halacha. It depends. There's many different ways how Mashiach's coming could happen. It could be zachu, loy zachu, all kinds of different ways. There's not one way how it's going to happen. There are all kinds of midrashim, there are all kinds of gemaras, anani shemaya, reichav ala chamayr. There's all kinds of zachu, loy zachu, chishana, beita. The Rambam only brings what's mukhrach al pi halacha to happen. So this whole thing that Tchias HaMesim will happen, that the Avos will come in the beginning, is not something which is necessarily mukhrach al pi halacha. So therefore the Rambam doesn't bring it, and the Rambam doesn't have to say any halachas about that. Right? That's regarding that. Now regarding this inyan that the Nevi'im, Lasad Lavid, Nevi'im and Ksuvim are going to be bottle Lasad Lavai. So what's the Gemara's question from Nehemiah? If Lasad Lavid, there will be no Nehemiah. So it's also a big question. When exactly will the Nevi'im and Ksuvim become bottle? And first of all, why will they become bottle? What does this mean that Lasad Lavid and Nevi'im and Ksuvim will be bottle? Why Lasad Lavid will the Nevi'im and Ksuvim be bottle? And at what point will they be bottle? So there's a Gemara that Beferish says, and Rashi explains it, that the reason why the Nevi'im and Ksuvim will be bottle is because the whole objective of all the Nevi'im and Ksuvim is all to awaken Yidden and inspire Yidden to be Mekayim Torah Mitzvahs. And everything that's written in Nevi'im and Ksuvim can be seen and already taken out of the Psukim of Chumash. But today we don't have the das to know how to find the messages of Nevi'im and Ksuvim and Chumash. Lasad Lavai, when we'll have a greater level of das, we will have the ability to find all the messages of Nevi'im and Ksuvim and Chumash. That's the reason why Nevi'im and Ksuvim will be bottled, not because we will be losing out anything, but then we will have the ability to see it in the Chumash. So Ebazai, it's Rashi says it's Beferish. So yes. Where's the Gemara? Anyone remember where the Gemara is? Is it in Sanhedrin? I don't remember now exactly where the Gemara is. I can check it up. So, if so, it's possible that this level of das that Yidden will attain will only be at a later tkufa, and a much later tkufa. The Nevi'im and Ksuvim will only be bottled much later, but in the beginning it won't be bottled. In the beginning there will be Tchias HaMesim, and Avraham Avinu will be there, And we will be learning these Nevi'im and Ksuvim, including this pasuk in Nehemiah, and therefore the Gemara asks a question from this pasuk.
So the Tchilas Mason is going to happen right away.
Yes. But the Rambam didn't bring it because it's not necessarily Mukhrach al Pi Halacha. It only brings what's Mukhrach al Pi Halacha. And that Kufa though, the Nevi'im and Ksuvim will still be around. That's the end of the story.